Bet you I go and I get it. Bet you I go and I get it. Bet you I go and I get it. Ho. Wee. Bitches, it's me and my niggas. Bitches, it's me and my niggas. Bitches, it's me and my niggas. Ho. Me.
Man, it's Panache Capone and you rockin' with Officially Underrated. Shout out to my brother Pat, man. We here forever. Music has just always been in me from a youngin', you feel me? And then growing up in a church-based home, you know, playing the keys and the drums in churches, and then as time progressed, I began recording myself, and probably around like 2010 when I first started recording. And so it's probably been about 8 years professionally now. And back then I wasn't so selective with my production. I wasn't as selective with my promotional methods. I was just making music, and if I felt like I wanted to drop it, I just dropped it. But now I'm a little bit more gathered and collected in my thoughts, and everything that goes behind a drop is like thought out. Even if it seems like a spur of the moment, it's thought out. Definitely. Back then, you know, people thought that I was just gonna be the next SoundCloud rapper, wannabe rapper. Back then, SoundCloud wasn't even that popping yet. We was still on YouTube using it as audio, and it's kind of like back then I didn't have what the belief from the people that I had now. Like, you know, like you said, you've been following me for years, but you was one of the only people that was rocking with me back then. Everybody else kind of wrote me off because I wasn't at the level that I am now, instead of realizing that as an artist it takes time to grow. So not many people saw the potential. So for those who did, like yourself, I'm forever grateful, you know, because that's what kept me going to where I am today. Always believe in yourself. There's going to be many times when people not going to believe in you, as I just mentioned, and you can't let that stop you from grinding and pursuing your career or pursuing what you love. Even if you're not trying to make it a career, if it's a hobby, whatever it is, you got to always have a love for your craft and a love for the game. You always believe in yourself, because at the end of the day, yourself is the only person who's not going to fail you. And if you're blessed to be around people such as I have been, that really believe in your talent and believe in your craft, you have to always be thankful and keep pushing, knowing that you're blessed, because not many people won't believe in you the way you believe in you, and that's a fact. I feel like everything is all about time. You know, I may feel slept on, and it's a cat that's been doing music longer than me that also feels slept on, so who's to say that I'm slept on? That's for the fans to decide. But from what I've discovered, I realized that everything that happens on the norm happens for a reason. So, you know, being slept on should just motivate you to go harder. I mean, it has for me, and every year I apply pressure. Every year I keep pushing harder. Every year I create better content than I did the year before or months before, and it has caused my fan base to build to the level where it was, you know. So being slept on is actually low-key your biggest strength as an independent artist. Never boxed in.
Okay.
There is no box. I don't live in a world with a box.
Okay.
I'm an artist, which means every aspect of being an artist, I am that. Whether it's researching the industry, promoting myself, outsourcing the video work, finding a team around me to help me with whatever I need to do, writing for other people, you know, listening to the competition and realizing what I need to do to not only keep up with the times but still stand out. Everything that has to do with being an artist, I feel I embody that. So I wouldn't call myself a rapper or a singer. You know, I make music. I make good music, and I make music that's, you know, coming from my heart, because that's all that music is as being an artist, is expression of art. So, you know, music is just an expression, and I'm expressing myself in whatever manner that may be. Lil Wayne was my inspiration. Lil Wayne was my favorite rapper. I would say to this day he still is my favorite rapper, because you know, the GOATs never lose their place in your life or in your vision. So, you know, Wayne is still my fave. But after years passed, I came into my own sound. Probably around 2015, I really came into my own sound, and y'all getting the panache that you know today. So, I mean, Wayne had the spark. He sparked that flame in me to want to really go hard with the music. But I found my own sound around like 2015, and it took me that long. It took me about, you know, 5 years to really develop my own sound, because I've always had my own uniqueness about me. But I found my sound in 2015. And I remember being in situations where it was me, the manager, and like maybe 2 other people we brought, or 1 other person we brought, and then maybe 10 other people in the club. I learned that show are made up of you. Only you can determine how a show gonna go. You gotta give it 110%, whether it's 5 people in the building or 5,000. So I learned that, and I went hard, whether it was 10 people in the building or whether it was 2,000 in the building. And that was probably my most memorable show, was in Arizona with my boy David Lara performing Addicted, his record, which I was featured on in front of like 2,000 people at the Celebrity Theater. And I remember, saying how far I had come, and that was a big deal to me.
Which city would you say has shown you the most love?
That's hard to say because Arizona was where I had the biggest show. In Phoenix. You know what? Arizona did show me the most love. It wasn't Phoenix though. It was Mesa. And we packed out about 200 people in it. Loyalty over everything, got over all.
And when was that established?
Probably 2012. My manager is my brother,
Okay.
Dex.
Okay.
Me and him been rocking since the bricks. Originally, Dex was artist. You know what I mean? And that's why I rock with him so hard, is because, actually I was about to quit. I was about to quit doing music. Saying that I was going on a hiatus, quote unquote, to write. But in retrospect, I was about to stop making music altogether. And he basically sat me down on some like, listen, you know what I mean? I know how this game go, I know how it get, but I believe in you. And if somebody gonna make it out of us, it's gotta be you. So I'll sacrifice to make sure you get where you need to be. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people say things, but one thing about my brother is when he say something, you take it to the bank. So he definitely stepped in and was that motivation that I needed, because other people were motivating me and did for me to tell me to do it again. But when he did that, it meant so much to me because that was so unselfish on his part, being formerly an artist, for him to say, I'm on dead my dreams of being a big star in this career and just come in and play that management role, and has not complained, not a day since we've been walking this journey.
What was the transition? Why the name changed from J Love to then J Miller to now who you are now?
So J Love, I gave myself that name back in the day. Really, no, I didn't. I got that name from a church friend. It's like, you smooth, whatever the ladies mean. At the time, that was the biggest lie ever. Let's just say that for the record. I was not a ladies man. I was a nerd. Straight up geek. Smart as hell. Couldn't bag a girl to save my life. That's a fact. So, I don't know. Maybe he was trying to speak it into existence. But, for the record, I did it. And it stuck with me. Even in college, Then, as time progressed and I became more involved in my street activities, I switched my name over to J Miller. Panache came about probably around 2014. I was back in New York, and that was a name given to me because of some attributes I had. It was given to me, and it means doing what comes natural in a confident or flamboyant style or manner, and that just described me. And I ran with it, and I added the Capone because they had been part of the stuff ever since J Miller's day. So I brought it back in because it's Italian actually in my family. I put it together, and everybody started calling me Panache, and it stuck. The thought process behind that project, anybody who has heard that project, it was a lot of pain in there, it was a lot of love in there, a lot of regret in there, in that project. And I believe that's why it was my most successful project to this day, because people relate to all three of those things: pain, regret, and love. Unfortunately, all of us have to experience all three. But I say unfortunately because who wants to feel pain or regret? But the reality is that as an artist, the best thing you can do is hurt me, because it's going to make me express myself in the best way possible. And somebody, if not a lot of people, is going to feel me. So that's really what was behind that project. And you know what I mean? I literally wrote this project in pieces. Happy, then sad as fuck for 2-3 records, and then regretful fuck 'em for 3 records, and then happy was 4 of them. So it's kind of that project really was personalizing and characterizing me. So everybody that had just come into knowing me as an artist, and all the new fans I gained from that project, because they really got to see every side of me on that tape.
I don't have a lot of friends on purpose. Too many new friends make me nervous. A couple old friends make me paranoid. But betrayal can do that to you.
I mean, really, it's just like I was at a point in my life where friends were like, what is a friend? Like, what is the definition of a friend? And I asked myself that because, in a sense, I feel like everyone gets betrayed at some point in their life, on some scale. But the thing is, it's like, do you learn from it and then become this cold-hearted person, or do you learn from it and become a little more cautious, or are you just gullible all the way around the board? And most people don't reach the second mark until after they've been hurt multiple times and they realize that it's not supposed to make you bitter, it's supposed to make you better. But at the time when I wrote those lyrics, I was a little bitter, you know what I mean? Especially coming from people that I trusted, people that said they had my back, people that didn't even give me the benefit of the doubt when the situations occurred that caused us to fall out, instead of taking the word of someone else. So, you know what I mean? Those lyrics embody all of that, including the pain that I felt from someone that I genuinely had cared for at the time on a more personal level. And you know what I mean? She, you know what I'm saying, really hurt the kid. So I was like, too many old faces make me paranoid, but betrayal can do that to you. That's exactly how I thought it when I wrote it, and that's how I recorded it. Manu Ginobili has always been a character that I've admired as a basketball player because he's consistent, and consistency is key in life. But in sports world, consistency is everything. You can drop 40 tonight and then drop 5, 7, 8 respectively the next 3 nights, and nobody cares about the 40 night because you're not consistent. But Manu Ginobili has always been a consistent player as far as I've seen. And, you know, he's a veteran in the game, and he's just clutch. When they need him, he's always coming through in the clutch. And so at the time when I wrote that record, it was like the summer of 2015, I was like, I want to spit some lyrics and do my thing. And I'm balling. I'm balling on these niggas. Balling like Ginobili.
Why Broke? Tell me a little bit about the clothing line.
So Broke, this is part of a clothing line, Still Broke. My barber, actually, celebrity barber named Marcus out of Ohio, him and his crew came up with it. And, you know, they have a slogan, Still Broke. It's a mindset. Basically embodying the fact that no matter how successful you become or how much money you obtain, you have to always remember to grind like you don't have it. That's the only way to stay ahead of the competition. And honestly, truthfully, truth be told, the shoot itself did not go nearly anywhere as planned, but just because of me being a creative individual, my team being there and holding it down for me, it still came out dope to the fan base, you know what I'm saying, and dope in general, you know what I mean, because of our ability to improvise and, you know, try to keep the main goal in perspective, and that's what we did. I met him through another member of the team, put it like that.
Okay.
And basically, they were, it's like 4 of them. Yeah, and they have a group where they were rapping.
Okay.
And Smack, I don't know if Smack ever rapped. I know he was producing. But like I met him through them, and it was a show that I was attending in New York, and I did my thing there. And we all ended up linking and networking, and they have a clothing line, The Infamous. That's their names, The Infamous. Okay. That's the collective. So Smack, you know, sent me some stuff before. I've never really had used this record before, but I did a feature for them that they ended up putting out last year called Jimi Hendrix. And then Smack sent me some beats like last year. And so Candy and Tax Season dropped January 2018, but Candy and Tax Season were written and recorded in the summer of 2017. Okay. So that's the type of person I am. I make hits, I'll put them in the vault, and you won't hear them 6, 7, 8 months down the line. You hear them, you think it's a brand new song because I make timeless music. It's not a time attached to the records I make. So, you know, Smack, you know, he's always made good production, and, you know, he just sent me some records and told me, you know what I mean, do my thing, and I picked those 2 out of everything, and then Me and him actually have another record that's about to drop, called Pop It, so be in tune for that, cause that one's going stupid. Play's gonna love that one. On my Instagram and Twitter are the same as follows: Panache Capone, Panache, and then Capone, Capone, no spaces. And you know, SoundCloud is the same thing. It's a space in between Panache and Capone. You can look me up on Spotify. I'm verified on there. Look me up on Apple Music. Yeah, that's pretty much Google Play, Amazon. You can Shazam me. It's gonna pop up. And never stop believing in you, cause y'all believe in me, and that keeps me going. And I keep pushing, and I'm gonna keep applying pressure. You know what I'm saying, to the competition. I'm gonna keep putting out good music. And you know what I mean. At the end of the day, you gotta stand for something, or for anything. And I believe in what I stand for, and y'all believe in what I stand for, because y'all support me. And always remember, it's loyalty over everything, God over all. That's a fact.
But 9 times out of 10, I'm just here working. And it's still a go over everything, Gerard.